It was here in New York City, nearly 35 years ago, that a chance encounter changed Elizabeth Stein's life forever. Stein was 21 years old, studying fashion, interning at one of Manhattan's most elite department stores when she helped a customer, Ghislaine Maxwell.
We shopped and we talked a lot. I offered to bring Maxwell's packages to her, and when I called, I was told to meet her at the St. Regis Hotel. And when I arrived, the concierge let me know that she was in the bar and that she wanted me to meet someone. And that someone was Jeffrey Epstein.
What had you told yourself about your personal experiences while it was happening and even in the years after?
The narrative in my head for the past 3 decades was that I had met these friends and I was running with a crowd that ran too fast for me. And so the blame for what happened, I always put on myself, and I didn't understand. He saw the vulnerability and he seized on that. And he groomed us and manipulated us and drew us in. And by the time we were in and even beginning to realize that there was something wrong going on, we couldn't get out.
A now settled 2023 lawsuit she filed against Epstein's estate and Ghislaine Maxwell depicted abuse lasting 3 years. Abuse she alleged in the suit that included rape by Epstein, Maxwell, and their friends.
You were at her trial, you would wait in the dark, you gave a victim impact statement. I mean, you were very forceful in being present during all of this. What was it like to see her transferred to a minimum security prison camp?
That was really difficult. I remained anonymous at the trial until the day of the verdict because I didn't want eyes to be on me, and I didn't want to distract from what was happening. She was ultimately convicted, and it was really important for me to deliver a victim impact statement at her sentencing. I felt really strongly about letting everyone in the courtroom know exactly what had happened to me, all of the bad, ugly things that had happened. We had a bit of justice when we saw her sentenced. And so to have her transferred from a prison that was, I'm going to say, mildly appropriate for her to a prison that is in no way appropriate for someone who's been convicted of these crimes is really just a slap in the face to us as survivors, and it really leaves us wondering, what's the next step?
How did you find out that she was moving?
In the news, like everyone else did. That's something that's really been concerning to us as victims, is that we've had no communication from the federal government.
Maxwell is continuing to fight for her release 3 years into a 20-year federal sentence. This week, the Supreme Court is weighing whether to take up her appeal.
What would that mean if the highest court in the land takes up this case?
The chances are pretty slim. And I am hoping that the American public wouldn't stand for that if it did happen. This is a miscarriage of justice, and we're just seeing it overlooked at every turn.
You said that they stalked you when you tried to, stay away from them. Do you worry about your safety if she were to be getting out of prison?
It's a very real concern, and it's something that I don't know if people really understand how palpable that fear is. These are people who have unlimited resources.
But survivors are pushing through that fear. Some say they may put together their own list and expose their abusers.
Do you support the idea of compiling a list and releasing it if the government won't do it themselves?
It's important for people to consider what I was just talking about, and that is our safety. And second of all, it is not our job to release a list. It is the Justice Department's job to investigate this case, and they're not doing that.
Would you contribute to a list?
I think that would depend on the circumstances.
That threat by survivors comes as President Trump continues to call the probe a Democratic hoax. Stein maintains this is not about politics.
This has been going on for 5 administrations. It's not just specific to this administration. And you cannot tell me that a crime that by our Justice Department's own admission had 1,000 victims is a hoax.
The FBI director said that he has not come across any credible evidence that these women were trafficked, these young girls and minors were trafficked to other men by Jeffrey Epstein. How is it possible for him to say that?
Well, Mr. Patel also said that he had not completely reviewed all of the information on the case. And so that's an important point to point out. It's concerning to me that Mr. Patel hasn't reviewed the statements of 30 victims, and also concerning to me that there was a federal indictment ready to go that was never served.
What would justice look like for you?
I don't know if we'll ever fully see justice, but I think justice for us would be holding the people that were involved accountable and seeing past the lies that were being told, and really to hold our government accountable. That would be justice. The focus that we need to put nationally when we're looking at sex trafficking cases is who is the buyer? Who is the recipient of these people? Because if we didn't have a demand, then there would be no need to supply people. And so for me, the men who harmed us, that would be an important piece.
Alex Miller, Scripps News Group, New York.